Great to see you today, Edie. Thank you so much for making time for us. We're here to celebrate International Coaching Week and the upcoming event with Dr. Marshall Goldsmith on May 20th. I believe you have trained under Dr. Goldsmith. Could you tell us more about you and your experience in your training under Dr. Goldsmith?
Yes, the training and certification is for stakeholder-centered coaching. And in 2016, I went out to California to go through this training. I was in a group of about 25 coaches from literally all over the world. And we focused on learning what stakeholder-centered coaching was all about, and then learn the skills for the coach, because it's a bit different from some of the other coach training that we may have experienced.
Tell us a little bit more about what makes it different.
Okay, so stakeholder-centered coaching involves a leader who selects a specific development goal and then recruits key stakeholders who will support the leader in becoming better, in developing this skill more, in becoming more focused in on changing a behavior that was perhaps not very effective and replacing it with a very effective behavior. The stakeholders are people who are actually affected by the leader's behavior. The leader's manager, direct reports, peers, sometimes vendors, internal customers, sometimes even spouses. The idea is that the stakeholders will provide feedback, will provide feed forward, and then will evaluate whether or not the leader has actually made positive change over a year of coaching.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. It sounds like a unique approach to coaching. In Dr. Goldsmith's talk on May 20th, he's entitled it, "What Got You Here Won't Get You There," after his famous book. In your coaching work, could you tell me more about what that title means to you?
Yeah, that was my first introduction to Marshall Goldsmith, and I've been following him ever since. He says that many times successful leaders, and those are the clients he chooses to work with, and those are the kinds of clients I look for as well, that successful leaders often have behaviors that are not effective, but somehow or another they may believe that it is those behaviors that have caused them to be successful. And What Got You Here says, usually that your success has come not as a result of, but in spite of those behaviors. And so he talks about the various behaviors that he says, even though you may have been successful up to this point, if you continue these behaviors, it is likely that you will not get where you want to go. And the number one is the desire to always be right, regardless whether it's an important issue or a completely trivial issue, just the desire to be right.
I think that's fascinating. And certainly in our coaching businesses, I'm sure we've run into that. So tell me, what is your favorite piece of advice that you've learned from Dr. Goldsmith?
As stakeholder-centered coaches, we encourage our clients to take risks, to try new behaviors, to do things differently in order to get different results. And what he has said and what I have tried to follow is that means I have to do the same. I have to try new behaviors. I have to question my own assumptions. I have to pay attention and look for what's right in the stories, all of those things. The number one thing that he says it takes to be successful when a leader is going through stakeholder-centered coaching is that leader will have to have courage and have humility. I think that's valuable advice for all of us.
That's great advice. And Edie, I think we'll end it there because I think that's such a powerful thing. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Nicole.